Hello guys, welcome back on a Tuesday afternoon, and happy Valentine's Day. I'm happy today because it's Valentine, and it's good to be loved. Let me show you what the first lady did to me today. 1 second. Not yet finished the stuff, you see. So I was spoiling myself at work. With this big present. So that's the thing about today. Eating, loving each other. Nothing wrong with that. So can you fix at least something on Valentine's Day? So with me here, we do have a Lenovo motherboard. It's Lenovo G580. We are supporting self-repairs. This board came from another computer shop. They opened, they checked everything. Nothing is working. They send here the item. Okay. So that's the thing about this motherboard. So what we are doing on such kind of jobs from other technicians, we are charging them like half price. Why? Because it's all about time. They strip their machines, they bring the motherboard just for repair. So that will reduce my time of opening a device, trying to fix a device. So because of lesser time, obviously I'll charge them less. That's what we are doing here, okay? Because if you are in electronic business, it's all about time. The time you spend to fix a device should not be too much. Otherwise, you lose a lot of money. Okay. So what do we have here? We do have a Lenovo motherboard. The motherboard was booked in as no power. Of course, they checked, but I can't see any attempts to repair this, like flags, things like that, soldering. I can't see. So I checked everything, of course not with a multimeter but visual inspection. And what do I found? I found we do have the LCD connector, LCD ribbon cable connector here, and next we do have those like transistors, like MOSFETs, those two things, those ones, the first one and the second one, all are blown up. That's all what I can see. We have two blown up chips here. Okay, so what can we see on this motherboard Lenovo? We have some 2 gig DDR3, like 4 gig RAM. Here we have a big heat sink. Underneath the heat sink, we have some kind of processor with the graphics inside. Because at the back we have a PCH, and the next to PCH, that's the ENE. That's the startup chip, microcontroller. Okay, and the next to the PCH, we have the 2 chips like MOSFETs, but they are bigger. Those are 2 BIOS chips. It's easy to identify a BIOS chip on laptop motherboards. It's the chip with 8 legs, but it's bigger as compared to MOSFETs. Okay, So we have some MOSFETs, ceramic capacitors, coils, and connectors. Okay, so we do have a charging port here, and we have a fuse on the plus, and this probably is the first MOSFET, and I can see the tracks are going on the other side. Here we do have another MOSFET, and we have coil connected in serial mode on the 19 volts power rail. I believe this coil is on the 19 volts power rail, and the next we have the current sensor. Okay, so let's plug in and check some voltages. Let's plug in the charger and check some things there. That's the charger. Let's check if we have voltage on the charger. You can see on the screen 19.46. Our charger is good. The next step is to plug in the charger. Charger plugged. On the plus wire of the charging port, 19 volts, we do have a fuse here. Before the fuse, 19, after the fuse, 19, so our fuse is good. First MOSFET input, 19, and the output of the first MOSFET, we have 19. Okay, we'll go on the other side, which I believe we do have the second MOSFET there. On the input of the second MOSFET, 19.46. On the output, 19.46. On that coil, which is connected on the 19 volts power rail, you can see 19.46 straight on the coil. After the coil, we have the current sensor, 19. So our input circuit is fine. That's bad. The next step, I'll check if we have 19 volts on the ceramic capacitors on all power supplies. 19 here. Maybe that's not a power rail. $19 here. 19. Okay, so our 19 volts looks fine. The next step, I believe, here we have the keyboard connector, and here we have the switch button connector with the 4 pins. There must be 3.3 volts, which is always on. Okay, so let's check. First pin 0, second 3.28, you see, third 5 volts, the fifth one 5 volts. We have 5 volts on the connector. Okay, so our 3.3 volts power rail is on. That's bad. Let's check 2 coils. What do we have on this coil? 0 here, 3.31, that's the 3.3 volts power supply, and here we have another coil, that's the 5 volts power supply. It's on. Okay, that means even if I'm to check on the microcontroller, we have some ceramic capacitors. next to the controller we must have 3.3 there, and you can see that the controller, I'm checking on capacitors surrounding the controller, because the one side is connected to 3.3 and the other side is ground. Okay, that's another way to look for the 3.3 if you don't have a BIOS chip. Because we have two BIOS chip, let's check on the last pin of the BIOS chip, 0, 0. So probably these two chips, they are the BIOS chip for the PCH, not for the controller. But you can check diode mode. The first one is not shorted to ground. The second one, last pin, is not shorted to ground. Okay. Let's see if the VCC pin, last pin of the BIOS chip, is going to the controller. Let's see. We must have like 0 resistance there. And you can see. And all these BIOS chip, they are not going to the controller. So we can safely say we have two BIOS chip, but this BIOS chip has nothing to do with the controller. Okay, these are some kind of controller with the BIOS inside. Okay, so if we have 19, we have 3.3, our board must turn on. But before turn on, let's go back on those chips. What I will do, I will look for board for space, and we'll try to replace those chips quickly. We do have some boards which looks like similar. Okay, let me do this. This one is not the same. We do have boards for space. This one with a lot of missing chips. You see? The boards, they are the same board. But this has got a lot of missing. The controller is not there. A lot of components are missing. Okay. So let's go straight on those chips and replace. After that, we'll try to power on the motherboard. Maybe that's the reason why this board is not turning on. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows why this motherboard is not turning on? We have 3.3, which is always on, because in most cases 3.3 is the issue. Let's take down all those blown up chips. Nothing hard here. Why are those chips blown up? Good. and those are the chips which are blown up. I don't know whether they are chips or they are MOSFETs, but I don't care. I don't even want to look for the schematics because we have almost the same board. So why should I strain myself looking for what this chip is doing? I just took the chip and replaced on another board. I don't think let's cool down the board. I don't think there's any reason to strain myself. Okay. So let's plug in the charger. Again, charger plugged. Can you power on this with a tweezer? You see, fan is spinning. The fan just started spinning. Okay, so what I will do, let's play with the HDMI if we can. Let me try to connect the HDMI to see if we have something on the screen. Maybe we do have something on the screen, who knows. On. Our board is now on. So check on the screen. You see? How can I do it? If I can, you see, boot file missing, default boot device missing, or a boot file. Insert a recover disk and press any key to choose a new boot device, recovery media. So this job is done. This job is done. So we are done. We just finished fixing our motherboard. Obviously, I'll give back to the owner. They go and assemble there because they are also fixing things. They only bring the motherboard here, but our motherboard is working fine. It's working fine. We can power it on one more time. Pin number 2 to ground. You can see the fan is spinning. So I'll stop this video now because we have achieved our objective. Actually, this is the first easy job that I found this year. Just take out these 2 chips, and after that we have a working board. This looks like a MOSFETs. I don't know what they are doing. Maybe they are passing, because I can see 4 pins together here on the screen connector. Maybe they were shorting 19 volts to ground on the screen side. Maybe. But the thing is, our motherboard is fixed, and like, subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. See you on the next one. Bye.